All right, Miss Franklin, we are live. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
KTTeeV, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought-provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. KTTeeV, let's go. KTTeeV.
KTTeeV, this is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of Education Unleashed. And on tonight's episode, we have Wellness Supervisor in the best district in the world, Craig, Alief ISD, Miss Monique Franklin. How you doing tonight, Miss Franklin?
I'm doing great.
Look, we coming down to the wire. We're coming to the end of this thing, and I know it's busy. So I want to say thank you for taking some time out of the evening to come on talking about how we're going to keep these babies moving in this classroom, but more importantly, how we keep them moving all summer so they don't tighten up before we get back.
Right.
So before we start, wellness is so important. We learned that through the pandemic. So just checking in with you. How are you? How have you been? And how are you closing this school year out with a little balance?
Well, thank you for asking. I am doing good. Like you said, we are busy, but paying attention to your personal wellness is very important. So I am doing that. And we're closing out the school year, continuing to do what we do in health and physical education and movement in the classroom, of course, and our ABL labs. And we're also working on our summer professional development for health, physical education, and action-based learning.
Okay, so you just been working.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So now, I wanted to, but first, before we get into the ABL, is I like to show people that people just not on here talking. They know what they're talking about. They done did what they're talking about. So Before we jump into everything, give us a little bit of background on you, some of your work in education, and what really pushed you to the wellness role.
Well, I am an Alief ISD graduate.
Hey.
Okay. Hey. I attended Cummings Elementary, Holland Middle School, and Elsick High School. Go Rams.
Hey.
The blue. And I started in education. Actually, my coach, Laura Dawson, she called me after I graduated and she said, "Do you want to teach?" And I said, "I haven't thought about it, but let me look into it." So she got me in Alief ISD. And I started teaching health, actually, at Kilo Middle School. I taught health. I coached as well, of course, all a part of wellness. And then I went on to Hastings High School, where I was the head track and field coach and cross-country coach. And I taught health and physical education there. And from there, I joined the School Health Advisory Council. That's where I worked more with Kelly Sullivan, our wellness coordinator. She retired actually in December. Yeah. And that's what kind of led me into this position. I feel like I've been, a part of health and wellness probably, my whole life. Yeah.
Man, it's so awesome. For me, before admin, I was a high school varsity football coach and track coach for a distance shot put. So working through that, just thinking about them days. So when you say head track coach, my God, think about them bus rides, the cold days. We got your warmers in your pocket. So you were an athlete too, though.
Yes, I was an athlete. I ran track when I was in school, of course, high school, Elsick High School. And then I went on to run at McNeese State University in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yeah. And then I came on home to University of Houston, go Cougs, to be a part of athletics there.
So what was your event? Just go on, tell me.
I was a quarter miler.
Okay.
I was a quarter horse.
Just go and do your thing. That's cool.
Yes.
Man, so now jumping into tonight, all about action-based learning. I think about as a district when we first rolled it out and we started setting up those few labs, or either we started putting little small things in. And so then after that, okay, now we're looking for positions. Okay, now where can we put class and the lab. Okay, now we need 3 labs. So all of this happened, right? And this is on my campus. So Kev, before we jump into it, for the people who don't know, give us a little bit more about what action-based learning is and how it benefits our students.
So action-based learning is basically a way to teach. It is based on brain research, and it's basically, in so many words, adding movement to the learning environment. And that learning environment can be in the classroom, it can be in the gym. That learning environment can be outside, it can be in the garden. So basically just adding that movement onto the academics for academic growth and improved behavior.
Yeah, I think about having the kids in there. So not only are they on the little thing doing the workout, but now they're doing their timetables or they're using the
Right.
flashcards, so really getting it going. We had the screen with so much going. So with the recent budget cuts, you think about our state of education, where we're looking at, where we are. What is our plan, or how do we continue to plan on implementing that? Because you think about salaries, you think about people. So
Mhm.
what's on the horizon?
I would say just continued implementation of what we're already doing. So I don't think budget cuts are affecting action-based learning when it comes to the students being able to move in the classroom, the students being able to participate in the ABL labs. Like that's going to continue. And my hope is that it expands through the testimonials that we hear, through the data that we'll see with academic growth and student behavior.
Yeah, that data is so important when you're just thinking about just the importance of it. And that kind of brings me to the next piece. So as we worked in the school, right, and we building up these labs and carving out the time for the teachers, and I'm sure you heard this, instructional time.
Yes.
Right, like I got to stop teaching 5 minutes early because I got a plan to go. I'm elementary. I don't know how
Right.
it worked there. Well, but how can teachers incorporate movement into their lessons without maybe taking out that 15 minutes, but doing it right in the class without losing instructional time?
Right. And that's something that we actually discuss quite often, probably every ABL session that I've taught. It's teachers thinking that it's going to take away from my class time or from my instructional time. And what we tell them is it's not taking away from your instructional time. I would say it's more of adding that time because you have those reduced behaviors, those small issues that you might have had. But if you just make the learning fun, add some movement. That movement helps to make the information sticky, basically, helps them to retain that information better. So you won't be losing time. We tell them you'll be adding time. And another way to make sure that it is not losing instructional time is to plan it in your lessons. Sometimes you have some throwdown, activities that you can do on the fly, but sometimes you have to plan those activities in your lessons.
And I think that is the most powerful piece because like you say, most of the time it's everybody's lagging. Okay, let's do an ABL or something like that, right? But
Right.
getting that real bang for your buck is knowing how far you're going, knowing that
Absolutely.
attention span time, and then doing something about it to get them started back over.
Right.
Most definitely. And so have you seen anybody who's kind of benefited from that? Any stories that you share with teachers?
So we have plenty of testimonials from
Mhm.
teachers, and those are the best because, they're a part of it. They're firsthand. They're on the ground running with
Yeah.
these activities and the movement in the classroom. So they know firsthand that how it affects their students positively. And so we have that. Of course, teacher testimonials. We have data from when we first started from Crossroads, how they had. I'm just guessing over probably 500 referrals, and that was reduced dramatically when the students were able to get into that lab. They started off with the morning movement in the labs, and that reduced the behaviors dramatically. And other campuses, I know for sure, Heflin Elementary, they had, I want to say it's a morning, I forgot what they called it, but it's a morning movement for, targeted students to be able to reduce those behaviors. And they've seen that data when it comes to behaviors in those students.
Yeah, yeah. And one part of that is on top of you kind of taking his mind off what's going on, you getting him moving, but the rapport that student almost builds with that ABL person, right? That person that can come really get them out that jam.
Absolutely.
So of course, being able to see them has the referrals down. Is there any other data that you all are tracking besides the referral pieces?
So that's a piece that we're definitely going to improve on, is making sure that we are getting that data to be able to disperse that information to, promote it even more. But I also know that there was some reading testing data done on an elementary campus. And that was when the teachers were taking, either you were taking your students to the lab or you weren't. And they showed a difference in test scores, that when the teachers that actually went to the ABL lab and had their reading content in there taught to the students had better scores.
Yeah. And just we old school. And so we from the kill and drill era.
We're from the
But
sit and get.
yeah. But being able to, like I say, it's one thing to be in that class, and we're not just stopping and taking a break in the ABL, but now, like I said, with the kill and drill, remember we used to do them timetable facts. Okay, let me
Right.
see how fast I can do this 100. But now they're also getting, that extra practice while they're in that lab. And so I'm almost confirming what I just did. Wow, they think they're playing.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
And
so
yeah, that's important, because something else to note is that exercise and movement, that benefits the brain first. So when it comes to, stress, when it comes to up your mood, imagine, we got our children.
yeah,
Sometimes not just us, but sometimes our children come to school, not such a good mood. So it improves mood. Um, it improves that working memory for the students. So it's just a plethora of benefits when it
yeah.
comes to movement in the classroom.
Man, I think about busting down. Maybe on Star Day, we busting down the Just Dance. Then we got kids rolling from the Just Dance into the lab and rolling the group back. It was crazy test day. But
Yes.
but once again, believe in that. Let's get them moving. Let's get them warm. Get them legs pumping, and then let's see what happens. So most
Yes.
definitely.
And that's so good
Now,
to hear that
yeah,
that you all had some movement during before testing. Like, that's so important for our students. We tell them to get a good night's rest. We tell them to eat good breakfast, and then we know they're going to be sitting there for a good little while to take these tests. So getting their brain and their body energized before they actually test definitely will benefit the students when
yeah.
they take the test.
Well, according to the numbers, it worked. So I'll take it. Now, thinking about, I know we talked about one challenge, which was the time. Great solution to, like you saying, plan it in, but still have something going with the practice, not just a free get up and just dance time. Let's make it meaningful,
Right.
right? But are there any other challenges or barriers you faced when just talking to teachers about implementing action-based learning at school?
Mhm. Honestly, those were the only ones, thinking that they didn't have the time
Yeah.
for the activities.
Hmm.
That really was it. For
Now,
me,
yeah,
I'm sorry, for me, when I actually went to my first training to be a trainer, it was like a no-brainer. It was like, well, if this is what's best for kids, if this is going to benefit our students, with academic growth and less small behavior problems, then like, why aren't we doing this?
why are we not?
So,
I think about the training with the lady with the rubber band and playing the Blues Brothers. Yes.
yes, yes. Who was
so
that? Was
so
it
what's her name? Was it Jean or
Jean
something?
Moyes? Yes.
Yeah, that was her. Yeah, my
Yes.
God, the lady worked us that day.
Yeah, she's actually the the founder of Action Based Learning, the company, and
Yeah,
of course, her and Kelly Sullivan, our old wellness coordinator, brought that on, and then we added Cheryl Williams and Courtney Grass and Leslie DeRuiter to the team, and so we've all been working this all this time, and so moving forward, I will be the resource for
yeah.
Alief ISD as it relates to ABL.
ABL. And woof, when you think about that, man, how do you lean on your team for a job like that? Because it sounds like it's gonna be real.
It is going to be real, but you know what? I have a great team. I have my health educators, I have my physical educators, and I call them my physical activity leaders on the campus. And we also have action-based learning people. We call them ABL ambassadors, who have volunteered to say that I will be a champion on my campus as it relates to ABL.
Yeah, and so right now, is it 100% all campuses got labs though? Everybody's rolling.
No, we have about 22 campuses, I believe, that have labs. And I would say, I would hope that all 40 some odd campuses are incorporating movement in the classroom.
Yes, yes. Hold on, wait. Who we have? Doctor Crafton with the London. We're gonna say Doctor still. But yeah, hey Doc, look, Doc got it going with that machine over there. But yeah, so when I think about just the sheer needness of what we have going on, um, I think teacher resources, right? Teacher education comes into mind. Like you say, do teachers know how to plan it in? Or do they know what to do? Because I think about getting that book from Gene, right, and having this whole thing. But do they go and pick it up? Do they go and check it out? Do they know it's there? So how are you all kind of promoting the resources, the training programs that's available for them to learn how to incorporate more?
Right. So we have Schoology groups. We have an elementary and secondary Schoology groups. So in that Schoology group are all of our resources for ABL. We have explainer videos, we have celebrations, we have all the activities that we teach in our professional developments. So in addition to Schoology, we do have our professional developments that we teach in the summertime and in the fall and spring. And let me just mention a couple.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have action-based learning in the classroom. It's a make and take where you are taught about ABL. You go through some activities and then you actually create the materials that you need for those activities. And those courses fill up really quickly. People really like that course. Winning kids over with movement, 30 activities to bring fun back in the classroom. And that's so important because we want our kids to want to come to school, right? And so we got to have a little fun. So ABL can help with that. Moving minds, and then moving minds. And then we have something called Brain, Body, Move, Learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
So teachers can sign up for those courses and learn more and learn how to incorporate it into their lessons.
And get them 14 hours.
And get
y'all know. Sometimes hey, get these 14. She just named them all out right there. All right. But that's cool, Ms. Franklin. Now thinking about the kids. We got summer break coming up. We just got teachers fired up to get them moving.
Right.
What happens this summer? What do the kids do this summer?
So, I had to look up a couple things. And I wanted to start off with what we have available in Alief ISD, right?
Yeah.
The Alief Neighborhood Center, the beautiful community center that is on Bel Air. They have summer enrichment programs there. So that's a great opportunity for our students to stay in their neighborhood and be able to participate in something that will be beneficial, that will keep them moving for the summer, maybe hopefully help them to retain some of that academic information so that when school starts, they'll be good to go. Also, there's some other summer camps in the area. The museum, the zoo has some fun summer camps that they can attend. In addition to one more I wanted to mention, because I feel like nature and doing things in nature is beneficial as well. The Blackwood Nature Camp. That's something that parents can look into online. And I think it's an opportunity also to be able to be out in nature, learn about animals and plants and trees and all that good stuff.
Yeah. keep them moving. See now, why didn't you think that you wouldn't get any of summer movement from the movement lady,
Right.
right?
Right.
So this summer, when you think about vacations, because next year it sounds like it's about to be rocking and rolling.
It's about to be rocking and rolling.
Do you get time off? Like, are you going straight through? How does that work?
I do. I get some time off for sure.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna definitely go on vacation with my husband. We want to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That should be fun for us. And then I'm going to unwind and hang out with my girlfriends as
Hey,
well.
yeah. Look, sound like you found that self care. I appreciate
Yeah, the
that.
balance is important.
Yes. What Doc say? Doc say I just talked with new teachers today about get. See, she know already. Thank you for those hours there, Miss Franklin.
You're welcome.
So now I know we talked a little bit about taking that data, and you said y'all kind of turning the page on that. And so have you already kind of figured out the steps that you need to take in evaluating the effectiveness of that action-based learning in schools?
Yeah, I think number one is having that strong connection with the campus leadership. I think next year being able to kind of look at data that's coming from the campus and then be able to try to do some targeted things on campuses. So after you see the data as a whole, you can see where you need to target the movement, I would say. And also, it's going to be important for us to make sure that the heartbeat of the campus, the gym, is
Hey,
popping, right? So I say the heartbeat because I feel like the gym is where it starts. Like that's what we do in physical education. We move and we layer on the academics. And so we want that the veins coming from the heart to kind of spread out in the campus when it comes to the movement in the classroom.
yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, I think about elementary though. I think they running it. Just got to high school this year.
Mhm.
Hmm, I'm thinking.
It's a different beast, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Do I really? I think we got it. We got it. So I'll double check on make sure how efficient we are over there too. We're pushing out ABL because I think it
Yeah,
does help. And you
it
got to
does.
get
And
moving.
I want not parents, I'm sorry. I want teachers to know, secondary for sure, is that, our high schoolers they're big kids. And don't think that they won't move because we have plenty of secondary teachers that share, them even doing some of the elementary, adjusting it a little bit, some of the elementary activities, and the kids loving it. So
Yeah.
don't think that your high schoolers won't move.
Oh, trust me, I've seen a few of them. I say, and it's so funny how everybody try to be so cool, but then
Right,
you
right.
figure out what's their song. Then everybody start moving a little bit. You say, okay, I got it.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
So times are changing. Like you say, rolling into really just a new way of life. With
Mhm,
money, we're thinking about teachers. We're looking for people. How do you see the role of action-based learning in student movement? I guess evolving.
mhm. I see it continue growing throughout the district. Right now, we have 22 campuses that have labs, and I know it's not all about a lab, but that can be expanded as well. I think the most important thing is making sure that we are moving throughout the school, moving in the classroom, moving in the lab, moving if you take your kids outside. Sometimes having a purposeful recess. Maybe it's an organized game
Yeah.
that we choose to play just to make sure that everybody is involved. So I foresee it expanding and continuing to help our district, our students have academic growth and much less behavior problems.
Yeah. Now, and another piece of that, I think about my time as an educator, sped, right? And so
Mhm.
we got so many people. We talk differentiation, we talk in accessibility. Have you all thought about what does that look like, ensuring that everyone participates, and is there any training for that?
I feel like it looks the same as what we do in physical education because physical education is inclusive.
Yeah.
Everybody comes and everybody is able to participate. Of course, sometimes we have some modifications, but from what I know and see, everyone is involved and included in the movement.
Mm, Nice. So then, what's next for you? Um, and what's next for the program?
Again, I say expansion, continuing to get the word out, making more people believers in what research says is best for students and for adults. Really, it's important for us to keep moving throughout our lives. I feel like it extends our lifespan, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, just expansion, making sure that we have more movement. It is a part of Alief ISD's best practices, ABL. So if Alief thinks it's important, so I think that we should make sure that we get that message to our teachers so that
Yeah.
they can make sure they're moving in classroom.
And will you do anything on the community side? We think about getting the teachers going, but we always want those parents to supplement and
Mhm.
be a part of what's happening in that class and in the school. So, are
Mhm.
you all looking to work with any parents on this same thing, things that they can do also?
We have a great partnership with our family engagement department, and they do a great job of getting these programs and getting the information out to parents. And so, being able to work with them, I believe, in spreading the word, I think that Chancellor Terry already does an awesome job with that. We work closely together and with our School Health Advisory Council as well, being able to get the information to parents about health, physical education, and movement in the classroom. So
Yeah,
just being able to continue that partnership, I think it's
yeah,
important.
yeah. I just wonder if the kids putting on the Just Dance or anything at the house. The parents like, Mom, we did this at school today. Yeah, but
And also, campuses, elementary campuses, for sure, they have events throughout the year. Either it's a wellness night or it's wellness incorporated in a math night or another event that they have on campus. So that's another way that we share with our parents the movement that we do in school.
yeah. Look, we bust the rubber bands down at a staff meeting before, so it could go down anywhere. You just got to be ready.
Yeah, you have to be ready because like I said, it's not just what's best for kids; it's good for us to move too. So
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that it's in staff meetings.
yeah.
We move during professional development, so yeah, it's definitely
Mhm.
important for us too.
So as we get ready to close this thing out tonight, you're thinking about that teacher that we talked to all night. They probably did not do any ABL this year because she didn't have time.
Mhm.
What do you say to her? And again, please talk about the resources or him
Mhm.
that the resources that's available to that teacher.
So I would say for sure, come to one of our professional developments. Um, if you have the time, if you feel like you're struggling, if you feel like you're up to here, but you still love the kids and you love education, and you want to stay in it, I can guarantee you that one of our sessions would definitely be beneficial for you. Reach out to me. I am a resource for you for sure. Our Schoology group has all of our activities and everything you need to be able to incorporate it into your class, into your lessons, and I can assist you with that as well. You might have somebody on your campus that is an ABL ambassador or the physical education teacher. Please reach out to them and they'll be able to help guide you in the right direction.
I'm gonna just drop the mic and then exit right. No, thank you. Like I said, I just wanted to have that conversation because I know a lot of times knowledge is what stops us from taking that leap
Mhm,
and daring to be different. So
mhm.
tonight was really all about getting that knowledge out to people, understanding the barriers. When we do sales, we say, okay, well, let's think about the pain points before we get started, right? And then we'll have our rebuttals already set. So we talked about our barriers, just making sure that we kind of meet those teachers' needs. I look forward to next year, seeing what magic you make happen as you get out. If you ever get a chance, we over at ALC. You can come visit anytime.
Most
We just have
definitely.
fun. But other than that, just thank you for taking that time out again, Miss Franklin. All
You're
right.
welcome. Thank you for
Hey,
having me.
hey. So what we'll do is we're gonna wrap this thing up. And so for everybody who's listening, once again, this message was not just for teachers, not just for students, but it was for everybody. Move your body, do something.
Yes.
Like verb. All right, y'all. This is KT for KTTeeV signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTeeV.
KTTeeV.
KT